if right now you're facing this situation that happened to you and you have tried to change your perspective on it a bunch of times, you have tried to change the stories that you tell yourself, you have tried to seek out the learning lessons, and it feels like you can't. It feels like you're stuck in this loop. It feels like you're going crazy because every time that you find a little answer, something else triggers you from that same situation. Or when you find a way to feel comfortable with the trigger and kind of fix it, something else comes up. And it feels like you can never find a satisfying conclusion and a satisfying solution to the situation. Stop. Okay? Stop. Don't drive yourself crazy on this. What is happening right now is that a lot of the times we can think our way out of situations and out of triggers, but you need to remember that not every single situation and every single trigger is going to be able to get fixed that way. As someone who does personal development, you always have this desire and this reflex to want to fix, to want to find solutions. As soon as something bothers you, you want to change your perspective on it. You want to change the stories that you tell yourself about it. And it's all really good, but you have to learn sometimes to just let things be. And the situation, if you're experiencing a situation right now like that is, it can seem, it's not, you can't find a conclusion to, you need to accept that, at least for now, you will not be able to think your way out of this one. And it's okay. It's okay. And it kind of hurts to realize that. And it's difficult to have that realization because right now the situation, it just feels like a mess. And it feels like it's really unorganized. And what you want to do is to fix it. You want to organize it. You want to detangle it. And then when it's all nice and clean and detangled and organized, you take what you need, you take your life lessons, and you move on. But right now, what you need to do is, which is very difficult to do, you need to leave it as is. You need to leave it as a mess, as the situation that is tangled and unorganized. You need to leave it as is and walk away. And that is a very difficult thing to do. To walk away knowing that the situation is still a mess, knowing that the situation is still tangled and unorganized, and especially because you didn't do the work of organizing it and detangling it, you know that if in a few days or in a few weeks, if the memory comes up in your head, you will get triggered. Why? Because you didn't take care of it. But this is where the loop comes back. When you try to take care of it, it doesn't work. You're stuck in this loop and it's driving you crazy. But see, remind yourself that. You need to remind yourself that it is okay. I believe that some situations are really just meant to be like that. Some experiences in life are meant to be a mess. They are meant to go wrong, in quotations, because we're really the one perceiving it that way. They're really meant to go wrong, and they're meant to hurt us just to teach us something. And I believe that those situations are not meant to be fixed either. They're not meant to be thought out of. They really are just meant to. They are meant to be these uncomfortable experiences that teach you things and that pinpoint things within you, pinpoint unhealthy behaviors, maybe limiting beliefs that you have, and they're meant to show you that. They're meant to be a reflection and to put a mirror in front of you and say, hey, Look at how you are reacting to this happening to you. Listen to the thoughts in your head. Listen to the limiting beliefs that are coming up right now, and watch yourself behave in those behaviors that hurt you. And sometimes I feel that they're meant to wake you up. Wake up, okay? and notice those things so that you can work on them. And it's okay, I just had an idea, because it feels that those situations are meant to, they're meant to be something to consume or to experience, and then you throw away the rest. Just like if you buy a food that is in a wrapper that is not compostable, you have to throw it in the trash. I feel that those situations are kind of like that. So you get the experience that's inside the wrapper, and then once you consume the experience, what you do with the wrapper, you throw it away. You throw it away. You're not meant to keep the wrapper, the circumstances in the situation, and to fix it and to find a solution, which would be you can compost it or you can reuse it, because it's you can use it in another recipe. And you're not meant to keep that part. You're not meant to keep the whole thing. You are meant to take what is necessary for you to take, and to throw away the rest. And again, as a person who does personal development, that is very difficult. That is very difficult, because we want to utilize everything that happens to us, and it's an amazing quality to have. It's just that it's still important to understand that it's not always going to be like that. You're not always going to be able to do that, and not every situation is going to ask of you to do that, and is going to require you to do that. So when you are faced with this situation that you very clearly there's no end in sight, or in the sense that you cannot think your way out of it, and you cannot fix it, you cannot find a solution. Again, what you do is you leave it be. Okay? You leave it be, and you walk away, knowing that it's still a mess, knowing that you didn't take care of it like you usually take care of your triggers. Walk away. And as you walk away, first of all, take a breather, of course. Take a breather, and because you have been wrestling with it, I know you've been wrestling with it, and you really tried, and that's really good. That's the thing. We try, and that's really good of us. But accept that it's not going to happen. Accept that you can't think your way out of this one. And take a moment, take a break for a second. Breathe for a second, okay? When you are walking away from the mess, okay, turn your back to it. When you're walking away from the mess, instead of focusing on the fact that you weren't able to fix it, and focusing on the fact that you weren't able to deal with it, focus on what you have control over and what you know. Even if you weren't able to fix it or to find a solution, I'm sure that there's something that you have learned from it, or something that you can learn from it, either just from the situation and from life in general, but also about yourself. And as you are walking away, you really need to have this blind faith and this blind trust that it is okay to walk away without having found a solution, without having found a conclusion. And you also have to trust that if it is meant to be, it will come back. If that situation, if it's really meant for you to find a solution to that situation, it will come back to you. The memories will come back in your head, and something will remind you of it. And it will it will circle back to you. And the beauty of it is that when it circles back to you later, okay, later than now, most likely you will have taken some distance from it, and you will have let the dust settle, and you will have let the situation settle also. And most likely you will be a lot more capable of dealing with it, and it won't feel so much as a wrestle. Like, it won't feel like you're wrestling with it anymore. It will feel more like you're just kind of playing around with it, and you're looking at it different ways, and most likely it will be much more easy to organize it, to deal with it, and to react to it. And you might get some insights that right now you're not getting, because you're so focused on it and you're so stuck with it. And it makes a lot of sense, because it can be, imagine when you're working on a project and you feel stuck. You're at a place where you feel stuck, and you were trying to figure something out, and it feels like you're stuck in this loop because maybe you've overworked yourself a little bit, or you've been working at it. You've been working on it for a while now, and it feels like your brain is starting to heat up. Often what really helps, well, pretty much all the time, is to take a step back from it. You take a step back from it, even though your desire is to finish it right now, and you probably think, I should be able to finish it right now. But what is very beneficial is to take a step back. You take a step back and you come back later, and you have gained some distance from it. You have done other things. You have thought about other things. You took a break, and then when you come back, you are a lot more able to deal with it and to arrange it. And so it's the same thing. It's the same thing about this situation, that right now it seems like you really can't find an answer to. And what is very, very good to do is to really accept it, and to walk away knowing that you might never find an answer. You might never find an answer. But again, if you're really, really not able to do that right now, if you're really holding on so tightly to the idea of finding an answer, tell yourself that it will come back to you. You don't need to go back over there and wrestle with it again and go and try to figure things out. Let it come to you, okay? Let the memories pop into your head on their own. Go and do something else. Go relax. Go breathe. Continue to live your life. Focus on, if you have found some things to learn from that situation, focus on that. Focus on those new lessons, and ask yourself, how can you implement them into your life moving forward? How can you use them to level up into your life and into yourself? And again, have this blind trust and blind belief that if it's really meant for you to pick it up again and to find a solution and to find a conclusion, it will come back to you. And when it will come back to you, it will come back to you at the perfect time, at the time when it needs to come back to you. It will come back when you will be a lot more ready to deal with it. And if that never happens, it's okay. If that situation never comes back to you for you to fix it, it's still okay. Focus on what is important. What is important is what you take away from this whole experience, not just the situation itself, but also the fact that you had to walk away from it, knowing that it was still a mess, knowing that you weren't able to take care of it the way that you wanted to take care of it, and knowing that you weren't able to find a conclusion and a solution. Find what you can learn and what you can benefit from all of that, and move forward and grow as a person and implement what you have learned